Hello everybody, I'm Josh from the Heart of Geek Music Reviews. We're going to be reviewing Spiritbox's Eternal Blue album today. Now let's hit the fucking intro.
There we go. There we go. That was it. All right, cool.
Well, hello everybody. It's been a while since I did any of these reviews, right? It's been, I don't know, probably at least 6 months. Mostly because doing all the podcasts and everything else. So some of the reviews that I'm going to be doing from the next few weeks, I would say, are mostly, they've been out for at least 3 or 4 months. Like I'm going to talk about Spiritbox's Eternal Blue today, just because I knew I was going to eventually want to cover it anyway, just because I've been growing into being a big fan of this band since, since Holy Roller came out. I think I heard it way later than anybody else did when it came out. I knew that this album, before I even listened to it, like when I saw some of the songs coming out at the time, I knew I was going to enjoy. And sometimes you just get an inclination before you listen to the whole thing where they're releasing certain songs, and then I get this feeling where it's just like, oh yeah, this album is probably going to be really, really good. And then turns out that to me, like I really enjoyed it. Probably one of my top 5 albums of the year. I don't know if a lot of people, like everybody else, thinks that same way, but like I constantly have it in rotation. So anyway, we're going to do something different a little bit. I don't know if we're going to put it on the screen or whatever, but I'm going to somewhat rank the songs that I think are like my favorites out of it, and then go through like most of the songs as a whole. Like I was talking about Holy Roller, that's like the top on my ranked for this album, just because I listen to it still often, even with the cover with Ryo. I think his name is Ryo Kinoshita. I think that's how you say it. I could be wrong, but it's the lead singer of Crystal Lake. He did like a version with them like way later. And one thing I love about the band is like their music videos are pretty dope. Like especially Hurt You and Holy Roller. I like the in the video, it shows like light and dark, where it's like a version of Courtney as like a good person. It kind of reminds you of Midsummer a little bit. But then there's another one where it's like a devil version of the same person. And that's mostly why I kind of got hooked. I thought that the heavy parts just hit very, very well. So, that's mostly why I like enjoy it the most, even though that there's some fucking absolute bangers on this damn album. But anyway, Holy Roller is just definitely my top, like a song that is off the album that I keep going back to. I've heard it like at least 1,000,000 times by now. Same with Constance. Constance took a little bit longer, which is my number 2 song off of the record, just because it took more times of listening to it for. I mean, it's a heavy song. That's the only reason why, like, I didn't put it in number 1. Like, you have to, like, if you're not in the right headspace, it could kind of depress you in a certain way, because it's talking about, like, your family and how one of your family members is losing their mind practically, where they ain't remembering everything. So you're constantly having to tell them, like, who you are, like what jobs that they used to do, how many family members that they had, and you would have to constantly tell them over and over again. So it's a very heavy song, so that's why I don't listen to it as much, but it's still a great song though. So, but by far, like I would say that, like, if it wasn't like Holy Roller, I would definitely say Circle With Me. It's probably the one song that I would probably, if they were playing it at a concert, like I went to go see them, I would probably get more hype for this song and then Holy Roller more than any of the other songs. Just because the Circle With Me part, where they do Because that's one thing that's good about this band. It's like most of their songs have like very heavy parts, but then they have like very melodic, which sets them apart from like all the other bands that's been around. Like Courtney and her, I forgot if it's their brother. I think it's their brother that used to be in I Wrestled a Bear once at one time. They're kind of like their vocal stylings and how they wanted to do this band from I Wrestled a Bear once when they were in that band. It seems like they kind of like took some of that into what they're doing now, and then they just refined everything that they were doing with this album. Because they have really good songs on here, and I even listened to some of their older work, which still sounds about the same too. Like Hurt You too, which is my number 4 one, just because I really love the hook on the song too. Like the hook is really good. But like even in the music video, they do stuff where they're it's more like heavily implied, like dealing with addiction, and like even if you're not meaning to hurt somebody, you hurt them anyway. So that kind of thing, or at least that's a vibe off of the music video, and it still feels like that during the song too. But like everything, it definitely sounds like the heaviest. Like other than Yellow Jacket, it seems like are the heaviest songs on the record, or at least the hook in general for Hurt You is definitely the heaviest part, I think, out of the whole record. So same with it's so weird too with Yellow Jacket, which is the next one that I had on the list, number 5, and it has Sam Carter from Architects in it, but you can't. To me, I couldn't really tell that it was him until like I found out that it was him, like because I didn't look up who was singing it, and I don't know the names of like every lead singer out of bands, and I do follow Architects, and that was one of the bands that I covered previously at the like beginning of the year or whatever. But like when I was listening to the song, it just doesn't sound like him doing an Architect song. It just sounds like he's just doing it's just adding to, because it's mostly him screaming and stuff in the song, so it's just different where you're not expecting it to be as like him going as heavy in this song. It kind of reminds you of like older Architects, and lately I've been getting into older Architects, which is funny. But and especially, it's so funny how like I'm ranking most of my favorite songs are most of the singles too, because I think Holy Roly Constance, Circle With Me, Hurt You, and Secret Garden were the main ones that they released as singles, or like with video, like with music videos and everything. And Yellow Jacket is really the only one that didn't have a music video that I had kind of high on the list. Like Secret Garden is Secret Garden to me is like the more of the ballady type version of like the whole record. I mean, like the last half of the record is very like all except for Silk and the Strings. Like it's a lot softer than the whole the rest of the record, and I think that's mostly why I didn't like. Because I mean, I love all the songs. I could listen to them repeatedly, but they're just like my least favorite ones out of the whole thing. Like I was sitting there talking about Secret Garden, and Secret Garden is like really good. I like listening to it often. Like it seems kind of weird to play that at like a show though, like because I don't think that people would get like super hype into it, like really, because I mean they're a heavy band, but like it's so weird to listen to these guys and then like see how their stage presence is. Like, and it looks like Courtney is just like real chill when she gets up there. She doesn't do anything super crazy like Avatar does, where they do a huge like extensive thing where they come out like as a circus performer and stuff like that. So she doesn't really do that. It just seems like she comes out and she's like, hey, come out and chill. And then she plays songs. So, like, the vibe would be different playing some of these songs like Secret Garden and stuff like that. Like, it wouldn't get me super hyped. Like, I would be, like, cheering along and singing or whatever. But, like, I wouldn't be, like, going crazy. Which, like, some of the other songs, like Yellow Jacket and Holy Roller and stuff, would probably get moshes going. Same with Silk and the Strings, probably. I would think that would too, but like these ones, I'm like, if anything, I would play Holy Roller, Constance, Circle With Me, Hurt You, Yellow Jacket, Silk and the Strings, and then I would do some of their older songs. Like just vibe alone, like Ruler of Nines and Belcara, I like it a lot too. So like I would do that personally for like doing a set, but I mean also at the same time they could do whatever they want. So it's like me like that never does music and shit. Like it's like me nitpicking about what they should do or what they shouldn't do. It's goofy, but I just like this band a lot. And I definitely think that they are deserving of the recognition that they're getting right now because they've been getting a lot of praise from this album. Like, I've heard nothing but good things. And they were doing very highly when they came out with the record, too. So, at least, hopefully, it keeps getting better for them throughout the whole time. So, like, Silk and the Strings is really good. Like, but the last four are just like, I like them, but there's nothing to really remember on it, like where it makes me keep coming back to the album. Like maybe We Live in a Strange World is probably like the main one, even though that I had that second to last on the rankings, but like that's just like a definite, like if you're listening to it, it would probably definitely be like a ballad type part. So like it's not like it doesn't really fit on the album. All these songs on here seem like they fit. Like they fit a certain vibe throughout the whole album, the whole time. There's not anything on The Summit, Halcyon, We Live in a Strange World, and Eternal Blue, especially Eternal Blue. I was just sitting there right before we were filming. I was like, man, how does this song go again? And I had to re-listen to it again and be like, oh yeah, okay, that's the reason why I just didn't love the song. I mean, I like the songs and I could listen to them like if I'm listening to the whole album like front to back, right? But it wasn't anything to like, if they released these songs first and then the rest of the album, I don't know if I'd have probably listened to the whole album first. So like they brought out their best stuff first and then everything else is just kind of like there. Which is sad to say, and I might get like people hating on it, but like that's just my opinion though. Like I just didn't care for that. This is a great album. Like like the last songs, I just didn't care for as much. Like, but I could still listen to them. So I don't know if I should rank it, but like I'm definitely gonna be putting it in the top 5 of my albums of the year, possibly even number 1. That's probably going to be one of the things that I do soon too, is I'm going to do like an album of the year thing. If you guys are interested in my thoughts on certain other albums and you want to find out if I might dig it or whatever, because I listen to everything. So if you want me to check out something, just leave it down in the comments and then I'll just check it out eventually. So I think probably the next album that I'm going to review, just to like give you a heads up, it's probably Das album by We Butter the Bread with Butter. Like that's the other one that I knew that I was going to cover. It's like that and like Wage War's Manic album. I was going to review that one. So certain ones I'm going to be a little bit behind on, but I'm going to review those anyway. So for me over here, I guess I will talk to you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye. Hello, everybody.
More excited.
What the fuck, man? I'm totally not. I'm totally not doing that shit. Fucking titties! No. Hello, everybody. We're talking about Spiritbox's Eternal Blue today. What?
Who are you with?
Oh, well, damn it. Damn it.
Take 5, motherfucker.
Hello, everybody. It's, man, damn it. Fucking hell. Take 6. Titties. Hello, everybody. I'm Josh from the Heart of Geek. We're talking about Spiritbox's Eternal Blue today. And, yeah, like, anything else that I gotta add to it?
Well, take 7.
I'll flipping you off. Just be like, bitch.